Welcome back, everybody. I'm Brett Gilliland, co-founder and CEO of Visionary Wealth Advisors and the host of the Circuit of Success podcast. You know, it's my goal every single week is to bring you the best tips and tools to help you achieve a future greater than your past through wise business decisions and wealth management. It's this week we get to talk to Dr. Ketan Shah. Ketan is the owner of ENT and Sleep Medicine Associates here in Shiloh and O'Fallon, Illinois area. He's got a great team of people that work with him. Definitely go check them out. If you have an ear, nose, or throat need, or a sleep study, whatever it may be, they do great work over there. So our question this week for Dr. Shah is this: what pivotal moment in your career really changed the way you did business today, Ketan?
Thanks, Brett, for allowing me to come onto your program and share some business insights. So a pivotal moment for me in my career that changed the way that I do business. I would say that would be the moment that I opened up ENT and Sleep Medicine Associates and decided to part ways from my previous place of employment. So looking back, I always knew that I wanted to be a physician. It's something that I had wanted to do from a very early age. But in addition to wanting to be a physician, I also wanted to start a practice, and I always dreamed that I would have my own practice with a shingle on the door. And so that was a part of my aspiration from a very young age. So going through medical school and residency, as I was getting out and getting ready to take my first job, I had the medical knowledge, but I didn't really feel like I had the confidence or financial resources to actually start that practice. So my thought was that I would take a position, get some experience, and eventually pursue that goal. So I took a position with a hospital organization, and I was inside of that organization for a period of time. And I was fortunate enough to have grown a very successful practice. I had gained a level of comfort inside of that organization. I was secure financially, I had a good work-life balance, and things were going really well. But as time was progressing, I started to recognize that I really wasn't growing anymore. I had kind of maximized my capabilities inside of that organization, and I had really in my mind felt like I was starting to stagnate. And on the other side, I also had recognized that I hadn't really fulfilled that aspiration of mine to start that practice. So these two things were kind of eating away at me, and eventually over time I started getting a little less happy inside of that organization because I knew that I wasn't pursuing those goals. So ultimately, after about 10 years, I parted ways with the organization and started ENT and Sleep Medicine Associates. And during the few years leading up to that, I was of course anxious or nervous about what that would entail. What type of problems would I encounter? And I think all of those thoughts prevented me from acting sooner. And of course, when I did start the practice, there were issues that I had to deal with. There were problems that I had to solve. But what I didn't account for was that my overwhelming desire to make this a successful endeavor and not to take a step backwards, as well as the resources that I would have available to me, including colleagues and mentors, would allow me to solve the problems as they presented themselves. So for me, that key moment was starting to practice, but the time prior to it and the time after it, what I learned from it is that if you really have a strong desire to get something done, don't look for excuses, take action sooner. The problems will solve themselves, or you'll solve those problems with either your own efforts or the help of others. And the most important thing is to act sooner, and also to have that confidence that you'll be able to get through whatever barriers that may come along the way. And so for me, I think that was the key takeaway. And so now, as I have future decisions to make inside the business or future growth opportunities, I look back and reflect on that time, and I'm much more proactive about taking action sooner. Because when I look back at the start of this practice, the one question I've always asked myself is, why did I wait so long to do it? And I don't want to have to ask that question again. So I try to be a lot more proactive again about taking action quicker and sooner and being confident that I'll be able to see it through to a positive result. So Brett, I appreciate you allowing me to come and share my views, and I've enjoyed listening to the views of others, and thank you for the opportunity.